Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hey, it's Cutler here in the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast. And no, you don't have to adjust your screens. You don't have to do any of that. This is the real me. I've not been photoshopped. This is really me, and I'm here. And I do have on sunshades or sunglasses, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But listen, if you're passing by my channel for the very first time, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Hit your brakes. I only need about 1,800 seconds. I only really need you here by 1,800 seconds because we're going to talk about, as we always do, something that's motivational, inspirational, something that encourages us to show up a little bit better than we did yesterday, or to show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today, because it doesn't mean that today was a flop. It doesn't mean that today was a bad thing. It doesn't mean that today was a failure. It means that we're just taking the time to see, how can I show up a little bit better tomorrow than I did today? What nuggets are there that I can use? What nuggets are in today that I can use to help myself show up a little bit better tomorrow? And again, I'll explain the sunglasses in just a moment. But listen, if this is your first time passing by, do me a favor. If you haven't already done so, why don't you subscribe? Hit that subscribe button. And after you subscribe, then hit the notification button, so that bell there, so you'll be notified whenever I've gone live and whenever I've uploaded new content, that sort of thing. And as you come into the chat, just go ahead and speak to everybody, offer everybody your good evening, greetings, and all that sort of thing. And then do me another favor. Why don't you hit the like button? It lets YouTube know that you like our conversations, but it also encourages me. It lets me know that you are encouraged about what we have to say. Y'all, I just want to tell you why I'm wearing the glasses this evening. Let me tell you what's going on with the glasses this evening, and I'll shout out the LTTC VIPs in just a moment. Yesterday, as I was driving, I realized that the sun was creating this. My eyes were so sensitive to light, and my left eye was hurting really, really bad. And I thought, maybe it's just fatigue. Maybe it's just fatigue that I'm dealing with, and it will end soon. So I came home, I rested, I ate well, and I went to bed relatively earlier than I typically do. But when I woke up this morning, my eyes were still hurting, especially this left eye. So I thought, that's unusual. Let me just call my eye doctor. I called the eye doctor, went to the eye doctor. The eye doctor sent me to the ophthalmologist, because as I was thinking that maybe there was a tear or something, maybe allergies, or I'd gotten pollen or something in my eyes and just sort of tore the cornea, I discovered that this thing that they called corneal lesions surrounded the cornea of my eye. And then the doctor gave me this prescription medicine, so I'm wearing drops. And even with this light that I'm using, my eyes are still sensitive to light. So that's why I have the glasses on. I'm not trying to create a different persona, not trying to be this cool kid or this cool guy or anything, but it's just a matter of protecting my eyes from the light sensitivity. That's all. But we are still here. We're reading from this book, When I'm Overwhelmed, How to Handle Life at Its Most Intense Moments. Of course, I took a break from reading this for just a moment because there's some other things that have sort of been near and dear to my heart. But I wanted to tell you all about this, not only about the sunglasses. So I wanted to show you this shirt that I have on. Let's see, can you see this? So it says Humankind, be both. When I was dropping off my prescription today, you all know me, I tend to try to see the brighter spots, no pun intended, with what's going on with my eyes today. I try to see the brighter moments in everything that happens in life. As I was walking into the pharmacy today to drop off my prescription, when I walked back out, there was a young lady, she was saying something, and I said, ma'am, I can't see very well today. My vision is blurred, my pupils are dilated, and I just need to get home. And she said something about teen suicide. And I said to myself, when I go back to pick up my prescription, I'm going to stop and hear what she has to say. When I went back to pick up the prescription, she was talking about, she was an educator. She was there representing the county where I live. And she was talking about teen suicide in this area, even among the middle school, elementary, and high school students. Of course, as you all know, it pricked my heart. And I said, what can I do to help? And she said, you've been kind enough just by stopping and having this conversation. So I gave a donation and I was walking away and she said, sir, there's something that I want to give you for stopping. I only have one of these left, and it's this T-shirt. She gave me this T-shirt. Humankind. Don't you all like that? Or do you all like that? I shouldn't assume that you like it, but I like this shirt because it really gets to the heart of the kind of person that I try to be. I try to be human in all that I do. I try to be kind in all that I do, and I certainly enjoy that about what we do here. We are human. We are kind. We show up. We speak to each other. We encourage each other to go to this place, and this space is called Better. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love what we do here. So I want to shout out the first 3 people who jumped into the chat this evening. You all are called the LTTC VIP. So I want to shout you off for just a moment. But I do want to get to the topic of talking about don't give away your hope. I talk about hope all the time. And one of the ways that we can avoid becoming overwhelmed, one of the ways that we can handle those intense moments in life is to make sure that we don't give away our hope. Hope is a very powerful tool. Thank you all. Thank you all, because yeah, it is a nice message on the T-shirt. Yeah, I can't take credit for it, but I love the message that's on the T-shirt. But let me just shout out the people tonight. So Andy Cutler says, let's ride. That's right. Let's keep on riding on this highway to this place that's called Better. Our good friend Paula D says, hello. I love how people speak when they come in the chat room. Hello to you, my good friend Paula. And then Tracy comes in third place, says, hey, everyone, good evening. I like that greeting. Of course, you know, I'm Southern, so I like anything that sounds Southern. You know, hey, hi, hello, all of that kind of stuff. But greetings to everybody. I want to talk about not giving away your hope. Not giving away your hope. But I wanted to uncover something that I thought was pretty interesting, you know, for the past week or so. I've been looking at these character traits that we sometimes have, and we sometimes think that they are negative things, and they're not always negative. They're not always negative things. So I was trying to think, what is another character trait that some of us may have, and we think that it's negative? And I'll get to the hope in just a moment. But sometimes we are restless. Have you ever known people who are just restless? Or maybe you're just a restless person. And sometimes we think that, oh, it's such a negative thing to be restless, but it's not always a negative thing. I want to offer us a new perspective. Sometimes we are restless and boredom will set in. And seemingly when we stay in that one place or even that one mental space, that can be bad for our mental health. I think that if this COVID pandemic has done anything, it has brought about some degree of restlessness, or it's brought out the restlessness in all of us. And I want you to know this evening that that is not such a bad thing. Sometimes we look at young people and we say, oh, they're so restless, and we think that that's a bad thing, but it is not. Restlessness is not always a bad thing. Restlessness is not always a bad thing, because one of the things that restlessness will do, it will give you the drive and the desire to create new experiences. Look at how many positive things have come out of this COVID pandemic. Look at how many of us felt like we were stuck. Look at how many of us felt like we were restricted to one place. Look at how many of us felt like, okay, this has limited me. But even in that stuck place, what looked like a stuck place, even in that place that looked like it was restricted, even in that place that looked like it was limited, it gave so many of us the drive and the desire to create new experiences. I have to say the same thing is true. It created the drive for me to then create this platform. And I have to thank you all. I have to thank all of us for being willing to come together in this new thing that was birthed out of just feeling like we were restless, sometimes feeling like we were stuck, sometimes feeling like we were restricted, sometimes feeling like we were limited. But look what all of those seemingly negative things did for us. It created this space and it created this community where we could come together every Tuesday and every Thursday and talk about how we can show up better tomorrow than we did today. Born out of restlessness, born out of trying to create a new experience because we felt that maybe we were stuck. So don't always take restlessness as a negative. I just wanted to share that because as I did last week, I wanted to take a look at some of those character traits that we sometimes possess and that we sometimes see in others, and we think it's such a bad thing, or we allow other people to tell us such a bad thing, that is such a bad thing. How many of you would truly say that to some degree you have that characteristic of restlessness? I'm just curious because I want to know, I want to feel like at least I'm on target for sharing that this evening. Sometimes we just feel restless and we don't know what to do. But when you don't know what to do, that is the fuel for the fire to create a new experience. When you feel like you don't know what to do and you feel like you're trapped, that is fuel for the fire to create a new experience. All right. So I just wanted to share that as a nugget. So when you show up tomorrow and you're restless, that's not such a bad thing. That is not such a bad thing because that gives you the drive to create a new experience. I got to keep going because you all know I only have 1,800 seconds, and I want the gist and the crux of our conversation tonight to really talk about hope because I don't want you to give your hope away. I don't want you to throw your hope away. When we talk about hope, one expert says that hope is the power to access. Hope is the power to access the belief that things can get better. That's powerful. Hope is the power to access the belief that things can get better no matter the challenges. No matter the challenges, it is the power to access the belief that things can get better no matter the challenges. And when you have that power to believe that things can get better, you can literally change the world. You can change the world for you and the world for others as well. Here's a question. I've heard people talk about their perspective of the state of the world that we are in. Some of us would probably not describe our world as being hopeful. Not a lot of people would say, not a lot of people would use the word hopeful to describe the state of our world today. I just don't know that a lot of people would do that. But even in our individual worlds, you all, even if you think that your individual world is not hopeful, I want to offer you a different perspective. Hope can exist even in the midst of pain. Hope can exist even in the midst of heartbreak. Hope can exist even in the midst of adversity. Hope can exist even in the midst of your lowest moments. I believe on a spiritual plateau, and even in life, that the enemies of our hearts, our minds, our souls, and our lives, I believe that the enemy wants us to believe that it's hopeless, wants us to believe that you have no power. Sometimes wants you to believe that there's no reason to do anything. There's no reason to act. There's no reason to be motivated. There's no reason to do this. Wants us to believe that you can't win. But I want to remind us this evening that hope is a gift that you don't surrender. Hope is the power that you don't have to throw away. Don't give your hope away. Don't throw your hope away. Don't surrender because hope is a gift. And to some people, hope seems like it's delusional, but real hope is not delusional. It's not about living in a fantasy world. Hope doesn't hope doesn't deny the reality of your current situation. Hope sees your current suffering, it sees your current pain, it sees the current turbulence that you're dealing with. But hope looks at reality and says, I see the reality. I see the reality of my current condition, but I'm not stopping with my present. I'm forward looking. And that is my offering this evening. You all know sometimes I don't even know out of my heart and out of my soul and out of my spirit what the offering is going to be until we get in the conversation. But that is my offering tonight. I offer you the ability to be forward looking and not just look at your present. Because hope looks at the current reality, like I said, it sees what you're dealing with. but it looks so far beyond the present. Hope is forward looking. Hope says, despite the trials, despite the pitfalls, despite the resistance that we sometimes encounter, despite the persecution that we sometimes have to deal with, hope says, I can have better, I can do better, I can live better. Hope says, I can experience better and I can be better. And you all know so well that this is what this platform is all about. It is about hope. It is about inspiration. It is about motivation in making sure that we understand that we can have better, do better, live better, experience better, and be better. And not just for me, but I can help create better for others. Tracy, you're right. Sometimes you just have to take a breath and handle things one thing at a time and hope that everything will work out. Because here is the one thing that I want us to understand. Here's the one thing that I want us to understand when it comes to hope. I get it. Hope is perception, but it is the perception that gives us the power to create a new reality. Hope is the perception that gives us the power to create a new reality. You got to hang on to that. Because when you are driven to create a new reality, that is hope. And hope says, I have a clear belief about what's possible. I'm very clear about what's possible. And when you are clear about what's possible, pardon the pun, and I know because things don't really look very clear with these shades that I have on, but I still have hope. And the metaphor of these shades, having to wear these shades because it seems to keep the light from having this negative impact with what I'm going through. So it seems that I may be in darkness to some, but I still have hope. I still have a new reality. I still have the ability to create a new reality. And when you are clear about what's possible, you all, the more likely you are to take those steps to make it happen. Be clear about what's possible in your life. Be clear about what's obtainable in your life. Be clear about what you can do despite the reality. Think about people. It's tempting to lose hope. Sometimes it's easy to lose hope. But that would be surrendering a vital power that you have. Hope is a power that you have. Don't give away your hope. Don't throw away your hope. Don't release your hope. Think about people like James Cameron, who survived. He survived the lynch mob in 1930, and he went on to establish this chapter of the NAACP in Anderson, Indiana. And not only did he do that, but he ultimately founded America's Black Holocaust Museum. He was not under any illusion that the world was a wonderful place, but he had the drive to create a better space and a better world for somebody else, not just himself. Somebody would have said he was delusional. I look at our latest justice of the United States Supreme Court. Suppose she would have never had a clear belief about what's possible. She would have thrown away her hope years ago. And sometimes the things that you encounter, I dare say if we could all sit around a round table, we would have so many discussions about the things that we did not believe were once possible based on the conditions that we were currently in. But the condition that you're currently in is just fuel for your hope. It's just fuel for your hope. Be clear about what's possible in your life. Be clear, be driven, be persistent. Be importunate about making sure that what you see in the future becomes your reality. Don't throw your hope away. Hang on to hope if you don't hang on to anything else. Hang on to hope. Sometimes young people are accused of daydreaming. Let them daydream. Let them night dream. Let them dream. Because dreams are what reality is based on. Do you know that people wake up out of their dreams and start creating the reality that they dreamed about? How many of us have started businesses because we had a dream, because we had hope? How many of us How many of us have formed and forged forward with relationships because we had a dream, we had hope? How many of us, how many of, not me, you all, but how many of us are in careers that we enjoy because we had a dream and we have hope? You all know I'm a big proponent of allowing children to explore their creativity. Let them dream. Don't take away their hope. Don't be guilty of throwing away yours. Equally, don't be guilty of taking anybody else's. I love Angie, you're absolutely right. I need to put some of these comments. Let me share some of these comments. You all know I only have 1,800 seconds, and you all are trying to get me to talk the whole time. No, I need to share some of these comments that you all are sharing. You're absolutely right. Angie, yes, absolutely. Dream what looks like it's impossible. Because if you can dream it, you understand the possibility of making it happen. When you dream it, you see all of the elements of it coming together. Let's see what else you all are saying. Yeah, oh, yes, you all are right here with me. Absolutely let them dream. And may I say this to us, you are never too old to dream. I know I often talk about young people and allowing children to do what they do, because I remember so many times as a youngster feeling like my dreams were thwarted, feeling like my dreams were stunted, feeling like my dreams or the desire to dream was snatched from me. And so I do have that perspective from a young person, but let the young people dream. And then, for goodness sakes, remind people that you're not too old to dream. Dream. My mom told my daughter, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. You have to dream. Yeah, we don't dream about realities. We dream about stuff that is far beyond this current situation. Dream about something that's beyond your current reality. Because what dreams do, and I'm going to have to go, you all, because what dreams do, dreams give us the building blocks. Dreams allow us to see the things that we didn't think that we currently had. So when we dream a thing, when we dream of anything, the dreams allow us to see, oh, that's the element that's missing. That's the piece that I need. Oh, that is the part that I don't quite have yet. That's what I need to go after. That's what I need to go get. That's what I need to try to achieve. Dreams show us all of the pieces of the puzzle that we're sometimes missing. Your hope, absolutely, Jay Song. Yes, when you are clear, it doesn't matter what you can't see through those shades. You see your hope. That's right. I know, and people, you all, this is going to be the strategy. This is the strategy. Excuse me, I have to do this. This is the strategy. People see you looking like this, like you have shades on, like you can't see, like you don't know where you're going. They have no idea. They have no idea what's going on behind the shades, because what they see is this, and it looks like you're living in darkness. They don't know what's going on from here on back. This is the workhouse of dreams. This is the manufacturing plant of my future. This right here, this is the workshop of hope. All of this, the manufacturing plant of my future, the workshop of my hope, the warehouse of all of my dreams. That's all I have to say, you all. Don't throw away your hope. Don't take anybody else's hope, and don't let them take yours. Dream the impossible dream. Don't allow dream snatchers. I mentioned that before, and so since I've said that twice, I have to come back to it at some point. Hope blocker. Angie, there you go. Hope blockers dream snatchers, future killers. You all make sure you give them. I wish I had an eviction notice that I could write. Give them an eviction notice out of your life. And as you are helping people in your life deal with those intense moments, don't allow anybody to snatch the hope of people who are in your space and people who are in your circle. Because we're all going to this place in this space that's called better. And we're going to get there if we have to build our dreams one block at a time, one foundation at a time. Create the foundation and build the rest of your dream. You all listen, I don't even know that I've been here for 1800 seconds, but I've been here long enough to remind us not to give our hope away. I've been here long enough to remind us to keep on dreaming. I've been here long enough to remind us that your dreaming, your hope is the power to create a reality. So let me do what I always do. Let me encourage us to keep building community, to keep maintaining connectivity. Let me remind us to stay safe and to stay sane. Let me remind us of this. Keep your heads up and keep your hope up. And may I add one more tonight. Be humankind. Be both. Hey, you all know this, that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. So until the next time you see me, I don't know if I have these shades on or not, but if I do, I just do. If I don't, I won't. All right. Good night to everybody. Tell somebody next time, come on, let's talk to Cutler. Good night, everybody.